Can't claim to be detail oriented and not have this on point.
'Cause every time I close my eyes, it's you. And honey, I'd do anything that you want.
Hey everyone, my name is Kene Ogbologu and I'm a second year student at the University of Liverpool. I'm studying econ and I'm looking for a placement. So this is my series where I give unsolicited advice. Welcome to episode 3 of 0 Grounds. So today I thought we'd just I've been to loads of workshops and talks and things about making my CV better for looking for placement years. So I thought I'd share the tips and tricks that I've learnt with you. So these are about 8 or 9 tips for making your CV better. So the first one would be having a personal profile. Now this is not something I had until maybe 2 months ago. I didn't even know what it was a couple months ago. But it's basically just a summary to describe who you are as a person, what you bring to the table. But it's also the part where you get to tailor it for each CV. So if they're looking for someone who's hardworking, you get to slip that in there, as well as saying that you're resilient. But it also is the part where you can tailor it to what kind of things you're hoping to develop and learn on the role. When I'm applying to a consulting role, I'll put in that I want to develop my skills in management consulting, risk consulting, and I'll also say like data analysis or something. Whereas if I'm applying to a marketing role, then I'll switch it and say I want to develop my marketing strategy, my marketing analysis, and my creative strategy, so that it looks like it's not just the same CV that I'm sending to 100 different companies, but rather it's tailored to your company specifically, and I'll even, name drop them as well. Okay, tip number 2 would be to put your experience first. This is not something that I fixed until maybe a month ago. I went to a talk and one of the advisors there was telling me, everyone that's applying for your roles has basically the same education as you. There's no need for that to go first. It doesn't make you stand out from anyone else that you're competing against. She told me to put my experience first because this is what I have that competitors don't, and so that's what makes me stand out. We just literally just took the entire experience section and put it in front of my education, because I guess it's just different to applying to a part-time job where I can say, I'm like working to get a degree, and maybe some people can't say that, but like with placements, because they have the requirements and it's probably a 2-1, like most people applying for your placement are probably at degree level as well, so your education doesn't make you stand out in this case. So put your experience first. Number 3 would be bullet point and action words. So when they have so many CVs to look through, they don't have time to read your sub story or your essay. That's what the cover letter is for. So you want to make sure that your CV is in bullet points, and after each bullet point you want an action word. So that word might be implemented, evaluated, organized, analyzed. You don't want it to be I really enjoy or I've also endeavored in. It needs to be straight to the point. And then along with that, tip number 4 would be to make sure that everything you're saying is kind of action and result focused as opposed to being descriptive. For example, if you were talking about a tutoring role that you've done, you don't want to talk about how dealing with like children who like might be misbehaving sometimes, and like I have to kind of prep the work, and you don't want it to be wishy-washy. You want to talk about how just you prep the work, you do teach the students, whatever key buzzwords need to go with that, and then you need to talk about the result. So are you helping them build confidence? Are you helping them pass exams? Are you increasing their grades in school or college? That's what you want to talk about. You don't want it to be descriptive. Number 5, to throw in with that, you want it to be as number focused as you can make it. So at any point where you can throw in a number there, throw it in. If you taught 7 students this year and 4 of them passed, then work out that percentage, whether it's, let's say that's 68%, and say, and I got 68% of students from a D to a B in under a year. You want to quantify your success, and it kind of just shows that, number 1, it's real and it's not just fabricated, but number 2, that you're kind of logically minded and you're constantly checking for success. Because whether you're applying for a more a hard-based mathematical role or it's something entirely different, if it's a business, they are always looking to drive success, and numbers are the way to quantify that. Tip number 6 would be to embed your soft skills within your CV. So a lot of us have a soft skills and hard skills section at the end. Soft skills being like communication, teamwork, resilience, and then your hard skills being more like Python or Matplotlib or Canva or whatever editing graphical software you might have to be using. With hard skills, you can't really just type in what are hard skills and put them in, because you don't want to claim that you can code if you can't. So no one's making up their hard skills. But with soft skills, it's really easy to just put it into ChatGPT. What are some soft skills that I might need for this job, and paste them there. But then you can very easily slip up and not look like you actually have them. So you don't want it to look like you've just copy and pasted skills that you found on the internet into that section. You want to be able to prove that you have them. And the way to do this is by embedding those skills into the rest of your CV. So there's no soft skill that you should have written about that there isn't already something in your CV that proves you have it. For example, if you want to talk about how teamwork is a soft skill of yours, then you need to have mentioned your ability to collaborate somewhere else in your CV. An example of this would be if you were a charity organizer in college or university, then say, collaborated with 9 other charity organizers to produce an event for over 500 people that raised over £3,000 in under 4 hours. It's number quantified, it focuses on action and the result, and it shows that you have that collaboration or those teamwork skills that you talked about having at the end. Okay, next up would be your formatting. This is the first thing that people see even before they've read your action words or they've noticed that you use bullet points. It's just the overall aesthetic of your CV. You want to make sure that you're proud of it, that it's not, maybe the same format that you did when you had to make a CV in year 10, because your taste and personal style might have developed since then. You want to make sure that the bullet points are all the same size, and you've not got, Comic Sans somewhere and Arial somewhere else, or that we're not going from a size 9 to a size 14. You want to keep it fairly consistent. If we're always going to make the heading, such as education or experience, in bold and underlined, then it needs to be consistent throughout the entire CV. Because you can't claim to be detail oriented and then you've pulled up your CV and it shows a complete lack of detail. It's just the first impression, and you want to make sure that it's as good as it can possibly be. And then finally, tip number 8 would be just making sure that your contact information is up to date, so that your name, your address is still current. You don't want it to be an old address that no one can contact you through. And same with your mobile number, you want to make sure that it's the current number you're using now. Your email address is there, and if you have a LinkedIn, your LinkedIn's there as well. If you don't have a LinkedIn, get a LinkedIn. And that right at the bottom, you've written a quick sentence just saying, references can be provided upon request. I've never been asked for a reference, and I'm so glad, because I don't want the stress and effort of all of that. But it's just to say that everything I've said here is honest and true, and there's someone that's willing to back me up on this information. Your reference shouldn't be your mum or your dad. It should be an employer or a lecturer or a head of year or something like that. But yeah, it's just important that it's there, and it just looks good. It looks like you've done your research into how to make your CV as good as possible. I say bonus tip, making sure that you know what's in your CV, even if it's things that you've written a long time ago, just making sure that you're aware of all the information, whether it's true or not. You need to be able to talk about it yourself, because it's your own experience. So if someone asks you about it, you shouldn't be stumbling or struggling to remember what you've said, because it's come from you, and that no one can use your own CV against you. I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys being here. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my other ones in this series. I've done a video on super curriculars that I've done to make myself more employable, as well as hireview interview prep. So if that is of any interest to you, feel free to check it out. And as always, I'm looking for a placement, so I'm always welcoming new advice and any tips. So if you think there's any I've missed off here, or you can see that I haven't done in my CV, I would love for you to help me out and just let me know. I'm very receptive to advice and criticism. Thank you so much, guys, for spending the time with me today. I hope you guys have the most productive day. Bye! I'm a work of art and a work in progress.